On the outskirts of Manchester, there was a boy named Daniel. Every day, he sat on a cold stone bench in an old train station. His coat was torn, his shoes had holes in the heels, and at night he only had an old newspaper to cover himself against the drafts. Sometimes, Daniel watched the rushing crowds and wondered, did he still belong anywhere? Each morning, he took a deep breath of icy air and whispered, "I'm still alive." He forced a smile at the passers-by. Most walked past as if he were invisible. But one day, a little girl stopped, placed a sandwich in his hand, and smiled. That smile warmed not just his empty stomach, but also a heart that had long grown cold. Daniel had not always been alone. Once, he had a family. His father was a carpenter, his mother a street vendor. Though poor, their house was filled with laughter. Daniel loved numbers and dreamed of one day standing at a teacher's podium. But a long drought came. Debts piled up, and his father collapsed under despair. The tragedy deepened when his mother fell ill, and his younger sister was forced to quit school. To save his family, Daniel left the village with nothing but empty hands. At first, the city gave him small jobs, washing dishes, carrying loads, but city life was merciless. A single mistake was enough to throw him out. When he was pushed onto the pavement, he realized the city had no place for the weak. Cold winter nights and gnawing hunger stripped away his pride until, at last, Daniel had to stretch out his hand and beg. Around him, the homeless fell one after another. Each time he saw a body left forgotten on the sidewalk, Daniel shuddered and told himself, "Don't give up. Maybe tomorrow will be different." And then, that tomorrow arrived. One early morning, a middle-aged woman stopped, handed him a warm bottle of water, and asked, "What's your name?" "Daniel," he whispered. The woman's name was Anna, who worked for a small charity. Unlike others, she didn't just give food and leave. She listened. She let Daniel pour out his pain, his father's death, his mother's illness, his fall into begging. Anna didn't judge. She simply said, "Do you want to try again?" From the beginning, Daniel's nod became the turning point. At the shelter, he bathed, changed into clean clothes, ate a hot meal, and for the first time in years, lay down on a bed with a blanket. That night, he cried, not out of sadness, but because he realized, kindness can help a person find themselves again. Soon after, Anna introduced Daniel to work at a small cafe. He started by wiping tables and washing cups. The pay was little, but it restored his dignity. For the first time in years, he earned money with his own hands. Not through begging, he saved every coin, hiding them in a wooden box under his pillow. One evening, Anna returned, her eyes moist. "Daniel, we found your mother and sister. They are still alive, living in a village nearby." His hands trembled, his heart pounded like a drum. That Sunday, dressed in his cleanest shirt, he went back to the village with Anna. The moment he saw his mother, Daniel burst into tears, clinging to her like a lost child who had finally found home. His sister, now grown taller, also wept. Years of darkness vanished in that moment. Now, Daniel rents a small room, eats 2 meals a day, and visits his mother regularly. But most importantly, he has begun walking the streets handing out food to the homeless. He knows that a smile, an outstretched hand, can change someone's fate. Daniel's story reminds us, poverty, failure, and loneliness can break a person, but a single act of kindness can raise them back up. Never underestimate the power of a small gesture. It may be the different tomorrow someone has been waiting for.